Did our stream die? Oh, no, there it goes. All right.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, wait, hold on. No, the stream is saying no data. Oh, now it says good again. Okay, now we're good. All right. Man, technical difficulties. I tell you what, YouTube's event streaming is just rough. Anyway, greetings, everyone, and welcome. I'm Paul.
I'm Jason.
And you're watching Don't Call Me Pretentious. For now, anyway. We'll get to that at the end of the show. But we are here reviewing and giving our reactions to Star Trek Discovery Season 2, Episode 7, Light and Shadows. Jason, give me your overview.
It was really fast paced.
It was a fast episode.
Everyone was constantly moving.
It went quickly.
I was really compelled the whole time. Big fan.
Really?
Yeah.
You really like this episode?
I really like this episode. I'm so it made me so excited for the next episode, whereas last episode made me grateful that the next episode seemed good.
The last episode made you grateful
that this one was good? The trailer would look good. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was like, oh man, next one's going to be a good one.
Okay.
I liked last one. It just wasn't anywhere near as good as this one. This was fun.
Yeah. Okay.
I know there was a lot more, action and stuff, but they have made me really like the characters, and I felt for them.
Okay.
How'd you feel about it?
I didn't much care for it. I mean, I didn't hate it. Like, this wasn't like an episode 3 thing where I was like, God, that episode was awful, and it just sucked. To me, this felt a lot more like, I don't know, it felt kind of unnecessary, if that makes sense. The whole B plot with Pike and Tyler, I don't know. The whole time I was just like, what are we doing here? Why are we doing this?
I was really glad that Pike doesn't like Tyler. I'm really glad about that because I really like Pike.
Well, except for at the end, because apparently now he likes him. So I don't know.
We don't know that. He's grateful to him.
Seems like he liked him. I don't know. To me, it was just I don't know. Just weird. I don't know. I felt the episode was short. First of all, 40 minutes. It's one of the shortest episodes
and you feel it.
You notice it's over quickly, and I think that does get to what you're talking about the pace. But I also think like the parts with Spock were like interesting, and I like that we got backstory. But all the stuff with the Section 31, which I have more stuff about Section 31.
Exciting.
But all the stuff about Section 31 where she takes Spock to Section 31, and then like she's getting a fight with Giorgio, and then escape with Spock. I'm just like, what was the point of this? Why did we go to the Section 31 ship?
So they could reveal the thing about him killing her parents.
I guess. I don't know. It feels like you could have revealed that some other way. It's just this whole episode just felt pointless. I was like, what are we doing? I don't know. I don't think any of this will ever come up again.
No. Clearly something that's going to happen in the plot requires them to be both fugitives and working together.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Or this is bad.
Well, I mean, that's probably true. But I think, I don't know. Just to me, it felt like there were moments in here that were interesting and that were good from a plot perspective, and they could do well. Like, it would have been better if they were just part of another episode. And I just felt like everything else was just, I don't know, pointless. I mean, like, it wasn't bad. This just felt like a filler episode. And if you're talking like Star Trek Next Generation, right, or Voyager, they had tons of just okay filler episodes, but they were doing 26 episodes a season.
Man, I thought the Jesus episode was the filler episode in this season so far. And this was actually,
but that one at least had a point. No, like, it was trying to make a philosophical point.
We left this episode different than we started it.
Did we?
Yeah.
I don't feel like we did.
Yeah. Now Burnham and Spock are fugitives together. That is different than when we started. Right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Change has occurred. I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what were the highlights for you?
Why do they keep showing me that robot lady?
Yeah. Well,
what is going on with that? I'm not mad at her. I don't dislike her, but I want to know who she knows to keep just showing up for no reason.
I don't understand her. I don't understand her character. Again,
do we know her name? Did we look up the name?
Arium. I wrote it down. They say it this time. I mean, they said it last time and I just forgot, but I wrote it down this time.
but they just it's not that I mind all that much, but I do.
No, I don't
But
mind.
it's also that like they linger.
Yeah.
They linger on her.
On her face shots.
Yeah.
That shot that we got last week.
Whoa, the face shots are way better than like just standing there. It's hard to not look stupid standing there in that outfit.
Yeah.
There's no movement to her, right? She's a robot or something, so she barely moves, but it just makes her look real dopey.
But again, I just don't understand what she is, because she can't be an android because Data was the only android.
She can't be a positronic android.
Okay, they never specified that.
What's unique about Data is his positronic brain.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know. Anyway, so I feel like I don't know. I just, again, it's just one of those things that feels pointless. I do feel like you look at certain things, like you look at what happened with her at the end, and she appears to have gotten infected by whatever that probe was doing to the shuttle, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, that's going to be an important point. So, I mean, you make a good point, right? That's an important plot point that's probably going to come back. Yeah, Burnham and Spock and all that stuff. And, of course, I guess some relationship advancement with Pike or Tyler. But like all of that could have happened periphery over the last 6 episodes. You didn't need this bullshit 40-minute episode to do all this. And it just felt like it was full of fluff.
Negative Nancy.
Yeah.
Do you think that probe is like the Enterprise AI from the Short Treks episode?
No. No.
It's from the distant future.
500 years though. The AI in the Short Trek was 1,000.
Just sent a probe.
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Fair enough.
I don't think so. I don't think that's related.
It's just an idea.
Yeah, I don't think that's related. Okay.
Man, Giorgio is really growing on me.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I see her, I like her more. And I started out not interested in Emperor Giorgio. I liked original Giorgio.
Right.
But
same.
But
I would still rather have original Giorgio.
I don't know. Her feelings towards Michael are really help like round her out. I don't know what to say about her. Like,
does it?
Yeah,
it felt.
It's easier to care about her motives more. Her motives are more interesting than just self gain.
It felt it felt forced to me. To me, it felt like, okay, she's she's Empress Giorgio, right? So she's like just talking about, hey, she killed her mother because it's part of the thing, and then she has some kind of feelings for Michael, and it's not even her Michael. Like, she keeps treating it like it's Mirror Universe Michael, and I'm like, it's not. This is a completely different Michael.
I know.
So why do you have this connection?
Oh, because it's all she's got. Don't be that way. Don't be such a no. Come on.
It's not all she's got. Okay, the whole point of the Mirror Universe is it's the mirror, right? So her family presumably still here, right? Her mom probably not dead in this universe because she probably didn't kill her, right? I mean, I'm assuming, Prime Universe Giorgio didn't kill her.
I don't know, man. If you ended up stranded in an alternate reality, a mirror universe, and you could hang out with Mirror Jason, right? It'd make you feel better. So shut up.
Okay, no, but here's the thing. I feel like I'd probably rather hang out with my dad, who would hopefully be alive in that universe.
Jesus
but
Christ.
No, but you get my point though, right?
I get no.
Like why? It's that whole thing that everybody talks about with Discovery of like how Burnham is she's too big of a character. It's just. Everything has to be around her, and I feel like they're doing the same thing with Giorgio, and I just don't like that. Okay, so here's the thing.
Hit me.
I'm gonna make this comment about Section 31 again for another fucking episode. Okay, why does everyone know about Section 31? I don't understand it.
I claim that they know everyone who knows. They can easily keep track of that information.
Okay, but Sarek knows. Why does Sarek know?
Okay, but Sarek is the ambassador of a major Federation planet.
Okay, so you think the ambassador to the United States from Britain knows about some special project in the NSA or the CIA?
Probably.
Doubtful.
I don't know how that
Doubtful.
works. I don't
Diplomats are not that big. It's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
It's not that. Not like the head of MI5.
Yeah.
Probably knows something about some inner, NSA thing, but a diplomat from the UK? No. Why would they know?
I'm actually not qualified to have a position, so I'm not gonna.
It's just, why does everyone know about Section 31? I mean, I was one of those people that was like, okay, I didn't hate, because I've talked about this multiple times now of how I'm not a canon purist. I'm not tied to it and all that stuff. And so I was like bringing Section 31 and it being a little more out in the open. Okay, whatever. But it's reached such a comical point at this time where it's like I said last week, it's not even a matter of canon or anything like that. It's just a matter of pure logic of why is this super secret spy agency that is borderline unconstitutional, just everybody knows about them. They're just wearing their Ash Tyler just walking around the ship with his badge on,
throwing it at people,
throwing it at Pike, like, haha, look at his badge. Like, what are we doing here? And now, to be fair, I love Pike's response. The chair outweighs the badge.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Now,
that was good,
hey, but I now that I'm thinking about Giorgio and me like warming up to her, I guess I think I'm just like a real soft touch because for a moment there, I was like, oh, Leland seems like a nice guy.
Yeah.
I was.
And then all of a sudden we find out
he's a major douchebag.
He killed her parents or something, or responsible.
And was going to hurt Spock.
Oh,
hey,
gonna hurt Spock.
Here, quick lore question. Was the memory thing they were going to do to him, memory extractor, was that Romulan technology? Feels like a Romulan thing. I feel like I've heard it in association with Romulans. Someone in the comments let us know if that is.
Yeah, if you're aware of that, let us know.
Yeah.
Now, okay. Here's where I am going to go on.
They have some mind torture thingy like that. Go ahead.
Here's where I'm going to. This is going to be my last rant. Okay. And then I will talk about some things I like.
Sure.
Okay.
Be brave, baby.
Okay. Once again, not a canon purist. However, you do realize where they're heading.
No.
They're heading to Talos 4.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to ask what that was.
Oh, hold on. Our stream died again. Dude, what is going on? Just give it a second. Wait till the seas comes back. Okay, now it says we're good. All right, we're back. I think the stream cut out again, but we should be good now.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, everyone.
From that short break.
I really do need to get in contact with YouTube because I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, no, honestly,
I don't know what's going on.
We should just like ask them what's.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, nonetheless, okay, so they're going to Talos 4. That's the whole coordinates thing. That's
yeah. What is it?
Talos 4 was the planet that the Enterprise visited in the original pilot, the Cage of the. God, it cut out again.
Boo!
Now it's back.
YouTube.
Boo YouTube. I swear, I don't know what's going on. I'm not doing events anymore. We're just gonna do the live thing and be done with it. Because I just don't have problems with that.
Yeah, I had never had this problem.
So okay. Anyway, in 2 weeks in a row with this stupid system. All right. So Talos 4 is the planet that the Enterprise went in again in the TOS pilot, the Cage, where Pike. So in the TOS pilot, the Cage, Pike. They go to Talos 4 and Pike goes there. They're responding to some distress beacon or something like that from what was supposed to be a Federation ship. But they get there and there's nobody there except like one human woman. And then it turns out there's and by the way, you see them in the trailer for what's coming up next week. You see the Talosians.
Yeah.
They're the people, you probably have seen them from TOS that have like the big heads with the veiny skulls because they have huge brains.
Seen a lot of weird stuff in Star Trek, so not sure.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty iconic, alien from Star Trek because it's from the pilot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
What's their powers? What do they do? What are they about?
I think they have telepathic powers, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've seen it. But they have like telepathic powers. They communicate, I think, without speaking. I'm not sure if they have telekinetic powers. I don't remember that. But they definitely, because they have huge brains. Like the whole thing is like they're weak, but they have massive brains or something like that.
Does that mean that their females have enormous vaginas?
Excuse me?
What? How? Well, so
what?
our head size, right? So there's an advantage to having a big brain, right?
Sure.
Well, it's restricted. It has an upper limit, and it's the birth canal.
Well, okay, but your head as an adult isn't the same size as your head as a baby.
I understand, but if
But,
our heads
you're
are strangely big for babies.
Sure,
That's why birth is so difficult for humans.
Sure, but I don't know. You're assuming it's scaled. Okay, so everyone in the chat, please let me know if you were just taken aback by that question as I was.
No, I was like, that's why our heads...
Why are we talking about the... Now that you mentioned... Okay, I get your point.
Yeah.
But it just did not occur to me to think of that. Anyway, but so my point is, from a canon perspective, now Spock and Burnham are going to the planet that they visit not only in the cage, but also in the menagerie, which was, the episode halfway through season 1 of TOS, where they reused a bunch of the cage stuff, and they take older disfigured Pike back to the planet. Spock commandeers the Enterprise, goes back to Talos 4, takes older disfigured Pike there for something, I don't remember what. Anyway, but here's the problem, okay? Mm-hmm. Just like everybody was complaining about how we never heard Spock or Sarek or anybody talk about Burnham, which seems odd. Although that I at least counter with the fact, like, yeah, you also never heard him talk about Cybok, and yet that was the thing. Stream cut out again. No? I don't know. It says it's okay. No, but it's delayed. There you go. It's good again. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so I always counter that with, we never heard anything about Cybok. But it's getting to be too much. It's getting to be too much of like, okay, why did we never hear Spock talk about him having this form of dyslexia when he was a kid, right? Why did we never hear about his sister? Why did we never hear about his half-brother? Or his stepsister, I guess, his half-brother. Why did we never hear about...
So Spock...
when they go to Talos 4 in the cage, and when they go again in the menagerie, why wasn't Spock like, oh yeah, it's my third time here?
Other than that...
I remember back, 10 years ago, I came here with my sister.
Yeah.
It's just like, what?
Okay, other than the fact that he didn't mention it on the third time he'd been. Other than that, does Spock, like, as you've seen him in film and TV before, does he strike you as a chatty person?
Well, it depends.
He seems like the kind of guy who might not tell you he's related to Cybok, is all I'm saying.
True. I mean, and look, let's also be fair.
Did you know I have an evil brother?
Yes. Yeah. Well, and people have explained that away over the years, being like Cybok was like, from another marriage, and it was like years after Spock.
And
so
she was awful.
They didn't grow up together. But, and so that's an argument against the Burnham thing. It's because they did grow up together and apparently have this really complex relationship. And then we just never hear about it again, but all right, whatever. Anyway, it's just, it feels like that. It feels like Star Trek Into Darkness, where it was like, you could have done anything. Why did you have to do this? Mm-hmm. That's how I feel with this. You could have gone to any planet in the freaking galaxy. You have a spore drive. You got time travel stuff going on. You could have gone anywhere, and you went to Talos 4. When we know that they never mention it 10 years from now when they go back. So either this is just going to be another giant continuity gap that people are going to complain about, right? The canon purists are going to complain about, or they're going to make me look like an asshole at the end because there's some kind of time travel going on with these tachyons, right? And like all this is just going to be washed away and changed by some time travel event.
Oh yeah, there will be no Burnham.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that's going to happen because by the way, there's a season 3, so we got confirmed this week. They renewed for season 3.
Oh yeah, I was excited to see that.
Yeah. So I mean, they're not going to get rid of Burnham, but still, I don't know. I feel like maybe that's what they're hinting at, and that's why they're doing so much stuff with the time paradox stuff.
Maybe.
Okay, so that's enough of my rants. Now, the things that I liked. I liked the exchange between Burnham and Pike in the beginning. Mm-hmm. And I will say that is one good thing that this episode did. Even though I think a lot of it felt useless, there were a lot of nice little moments that you got over several seasons, over several episodes of TNG or Voyager that built up the interpersonal relationships of the crew, right? And I feel like we're getting that now with Discovery. And so that line at the beginning with with Pike, where he's like, Burnham saying like, "Hey, I should go to Vulcan and ask my mom." And he was like, "You've already packed your bags, haven't you?" And she was like, "I would never do that without your permission."
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, okay." That was just a nice exchange. We get some more nice exchanges with Tilly. Her like, she's freaking, because remember, she was the one that said the F word in season 1.
Oh, did she?
And everybody complained like, "Oh, why are you putting F words in Star Trek?" So now they're like making a point,
What
like,
did
"Oh,
she
you told
do?
me about cursing."
What did she do? When did she say it?
He was like halfway through, and they did something with the spore drive. She was like, "Oh, that's fucking cool," or something.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and it was, So I like how she's like making a point. So it's just those things. And we finally figured out that one dude's name, Reese.
Oh yeah,
The Asian dude.
yeah.
Never knew his name before. That's cool. So we're getting more and more about the crew. I like that. I like what we've introduced with this idea of Leland and the death of Burnham's parents. I'm interested to see where that goes. Yeah,
Got you.
That's about it.
They gave you a good shot of the turbo lift.
Oh, we did get more good. Yes, you're right. We
Yeah.
did get more good shots of ships in this show.
No, the turbo lift of the inside.
Oh God!
I know.
Oh,
I
hate it
know.
so bad.
Oh, I knew you would.
Why? Why is there so much wasted space in that ship? Why does the turbo lift? And this is another thing, man. Again, like, I hate to keep doing this because I've said over and over I'm not a canon purist, but they make me do it because never in the history of Star Trek have we ever seen a ship with that kind of turbo lift system. Then none of them work that way.
Yeah.
We've seen the MSDs, we've seen the cutaways. They're all like, they have shafts, they have tubes that they go through, right? It's it's like the mail thing at the bank, the little things at the bank. But so like, why is the middle of the ship just wide the fuck open? And it's like apparently the only time they ever did that. Is just what do we?
It's not a dense ship.
But it's and then it offends me as an engineer because I'm like, you wasted a shit ton of space for nothing.
I don't know. Maybe it's got they just keep a lot of air in there.
Apparently, I don't know. I mean, if they at least made an attempt to argue that it had something to do with their scientific, because they have 300 labs on the ship, so they're like, oh, this is like space in between where we can vent stuff. Right, we can vent fumes or whatever. I'd be like, oh,
you can free pollute here.
It just gets it out of the living space, and then they can filter it or whatever, right? I would be like, oh, okay, that seems kind of silly, but at least you made an attempt. Right now, it just feels like, oh, look, this is a cool looking shot. We'll put it in. It's like, okay, but it's not even that cool of a shot, and it lasts like 2 seconds every time you do it.
I clearly wasn't worth it. It definitely wasn't worth this kind of reaction. I'm sorry this happened to you. They shouldn't have wasted it.
I know, you got me going to something else I hated.
No, I know.
Well, and actually, okay, so I will say one more thing.
I'll say this: it completely takes okay. Just keep in mind.
Yes.
Remember the first Star Trek JJ movie.
Yep.
And remember how tense both times the captain went to meet Nero. They got in the turbo lift, and they stayed in the turbo lift. The camera, and it was like the tension was building because they were going somewhere.
Yeah. Well, and it was all one shot too. So then they get in and they get out on another set.
Yeah. Like, but if they had like cut away to it like swirling around, like spin around, it would have ripped all the tension out. Would have robbed it of all that. So I take your point. Yeah.
Anyway, yes. So on multiple levels, it doesn't make sense in canon. It doesn't make sense from an engineering perspective, and it's not a very good cinematography. So it just for 2 seconds. And it had to have been expensive because it's all CG. So just spend the money somewhere else.
Sure.
Anyway, so the last thing I will say that I didn't like, and I said I wasn't going to do it, but I am. The comment that was made that if Spock were full-blooded Vulcan, the emotions he's having right now would drive him insane. I don't think we've ever heard that kind of analogy or discussion of Vulcans and stuff before. I mean, obviously we've seen Vulcans go insane due to their emotions, like we saw Tuvok in Voyager when he was going through Pon Farr.
And when you don't meditate.
Yes, but I mean the idea that like that Spock, he has a higher tolerance because he's half human. I mean, it just.
Oh no!
I guess they have.
I didn't mean it that way. I didn't think it was meant that way.
Well, I mean, she specifically says it.
No, I think it was meant that human biology, the humans are
we're emotional,
more emotional,
yeah.
And so like our neurology is just designed to handle that.
Yeah,
and Vulcans aren't. Right?
I guess it makes sense.
Maybe,
and to be fair,
okay, you know how sometimes you get mad for a minute and then you're not mad anymore?
Sure.
Maybe Vulcans don't do that.
Maybe was that the royal you, or are you talking specifically?
No. Like one. Like, you know how like, you get mad and it's like quickly over. Maybe Vulcans don't do that. Maybe when Vulcans get mad, that's their state for a minute.
And then
maybe they make
then they just go through.
They're mean drunks, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it just doesn't.
Well, that we do know. It's been said multiple times that emotions are stronger in Vulcans than they are in humans. So that's why they had to suppress them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So maybe that's all. I think that's all she meant.
I guess. I don't know. I guess that does make sense.
Yeah.
And plus, we do know that Spock has appeared more emotional than most any other Vulcan we see throughout the series, including, by the way, in the cage.
Playing the sitar.
In the original pilot of TOS, like there's no concept of him being like emotionless. Like he laughs, he gets mad.
Really?
Yeah, the cage.
Really?
Yeah, he has a lot of emotions.
Oh, just in the cage. But later on in the series of TOS.
Well, except for the menagerie, which reuses the cage, and it's like halfway through the first season. So it's weird. You get halfway through the first season, and he has very little emotion, and then you get to this episode where he's like laughing and getting pissed off and everything, and then you go back to the way it was. But because it was budget, they did that episode because they needed more episodes and they didn't have money to make more, so they reused their pilot. So. But, and I will say the last thing that I thought was interesting, did you notice the shuttle had a physical shield for the window?
Yeah, that was weird.
Weird, right? Weird because everybody complains about the windows on Discovery because, again, we've never seen any of those ships have windows.
Yep.
And everybody talks about, hey, it's a structural weak point.
Sure.
Not once have we seen Discovery or Shinjo or Enterprise or anybody put this metal shield in front of the view screen to protect it. Now, on the other hand, you know what we did see a lot of in Star Trek history? Shuttles have windows. Shuttles always had windows in Star Trek.
Yeah.
None of them ever had these metal shields. So it's like, again, it's just a weird thing that we're doing. But that didn't bother me too much. It was kind of a cool effect.
It strangely didn't bother me either, Paul.
Yeah, I know. See, you're gonna get
shuttles. Shuttles don't have windows.
All right,
who cares?
All right. People in the comments, give Jason shit because he's not a true Trekkie. He doesn't care about the canon.
No, clearly.
You're gonna get shit. Don't give him shit. Teach their own.
It's 200 years of history. They have different outfits. They have different ships. They have different shuttles. I don't give a shit.
The outfits don't bother me, and in the ships even didn't bother me. It's just a weird thing. This doesn't bother me. It's just a weird thing to me that the ships don't have these metal grates that go in front of the view screen.
It should just be.
The shuttles do.
It should just be a view, like a TV.
It should.
That shows you what's outside.
Although, shout out to E.C. Henry. Check out his YouTube channel, youtube.com, E.C. Henry. He just recently did a video pointing out that actually the view screens aren't flat screens. And he ties it into the holographic technology we see in Discovery that they could be related. And he even shows, like in TNG, in the next generation, obviously, when they have the giant view screen and you'll see Picard standing there talking to somebody, and sometimes they would go to a different shot. Yeah. So instead of it being behind Picard and you see this view screen head on and the guy talking to him, they sometimes would do a shot where it was like off to the side. And so you'd kind of be looking at Picard in profile with like the view screen off to an angle. And you would see the person in the view screen from the angle where the camera is instead of like just like looking at a TV screen.
Gotcha.
From straight on.
Yeah.
So he talks about how, and he goes through and is like, oh, in TOS, the view screens that they did this, they also had similar effects and they all have blue borders and that was different than other screens. That was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So if I subscribe to that, then I'm going to stop complaining about the holograms.
Excellent.
So anyway, was there anything you didn't like about it?
Nope. It was great. Big fan.
Like,
well, I mean, Ash Tyler was in it. So there's that.
Do Do you like him now?
No. I said, is there anything I dislike? That.
I thought you liked him when he had the man bun, the top knot,
Yeah.
the hipster top knot.
It was okay. It was okay.
I was just listening to the episode.
I just don't want him on Earth. I don't want him anywhere near anything I understand.
I just don't want him flashing his stupid black badge. I just don't like that. Oh, and I think we didn't mention this week the badges. It's clearly like a precursor to the comm badge because he taps it just like they do in TNG.
Yeah.
And that's not something we have in TOS or anything like that. I thought that was a cool little nod. Like, oh, they have cool advanced technology, right? Mm-hmm. Like camouflages, apparently, which they still don't have in TNG. But anyway. All right, so you give it a recommend.
I give it a recommend. Strong recommend. Well, you have to give it a recommend because the whole rest of the season probably won't make sense if you don't see it.
Yeah, no, that's true. For that reason, yes, obviously you have to give it a recommend. Yeah, because there was important plot points that happened. As an episode, it felt like a lot of fluff.
If you think
it felt like a lot of fluff with some really important parts in it.
Right. I think they needed to set this up, all this situation up. They needed this to be the status quo, and they were like, "Well, we don't want to make it shitty, so we'll just do it. We'll just like make it really like fast paced and compelling." And like they just fall into it. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And the characters make decisions that to get there. It's not just random, things happen to them and now they're fugitives, right?
Sure.
They all made decisions to create the situations they're in.
Sure.
I like it.
Yeah. So I guess overall I recommend. There's some good stuff in here. I don't hate it, but it just felt like filler. But that's fine. Filler episodes are fine. Last thing I will say, what did you think about all the temporal stuff with Stamets and Tilly? Non-linear time and like, oh, this signal came from 8 weeks from now, and this signal came from, and apparently they can just transport through temporal rifts.
I don't know.
What did you think about that?
You could do that shit in Excel. Absolutely. No, just imagine if you took an Excel sheet, like data sheet, right, and it's got a column that's your time to the sample time, and you just like you ran a script on it that just like randomized each row, and then you plotted it, right, but you plotted it sequentially. Like you could just plot like a strange interpretation of how things work. Like the lines have to zip back and forth across the thing. So it's strange that they can't sort. It's strange they don't have a sort on the Discovery, but whatever. They can't use bubble sort or some shit.
Okay, that's not where I was gonna go. That's not where I was gonna go with that. But maybe they should get MATLAB instead.
Yeah. Okay,
well, I think that's going to cover it for Season 2, Episode 7, Light and Shadows. Overall, I'm lukewarm, but it's important plot points as you see it. Jason likes it. So, here's what we're going to talk about now. And I might cut this out later, but...
Big money, big prizes!
Big news, everyone.
Woo!
The channel is rebranding, okay? We are changing the name. We're going to have new graphics.
Tell them what it is. Tell them what the name is. Tell them what it is right now.
Okay. Well,
Tell them what they've won.
I'll get to it. I actually wish I had prepared graphics, but I think we're going to do a short video. I just want to let people know because these videos do the best. So people watching, if you want to know where to find the next one and you're not seeing Don't Call Me Pretentious anymore, the channel name we've changed to Casual Notion. Okay. So you're not seeing it yet. We'll do it this weekend. All of our new content. We have some new stuff lined up.
Better stuff lined up.
Some shows, all that stuff. Some streaming. And so that's all going to start this weekend, this Sunday, I think is going to be our kickoff. We're still working on graphics, stuff like that. So if you're looking for our review next week, again, you want to look up Casual Notion. That's going to be youtube.com, Casual Notion. And as a little bit of a teaser, we're going to be doing some interesting things. I think we're going to be streaming some Star Trek games.
Oh, yeah.
On our Twitch channel.
Totally.
Twitch.tv/ well, right now it's Don't Call Me Pretentious, but it will be twitch.tv/Casual Notion, presumably. We're going to be streaming some Star Trek Online, some Star Trek Armada 3. So if you're interested in seeing that, go check that out. Okay. And I see Michael in the chat. Hey, Michael. Good to see you, man. What is it? I don't know what it is. Where's the cute guy named Jerry? Oh wait, no, that might be Jeremy.
It is Jeremy.
That is Jeremy. I thought that was my friend Michael.
No, dude.
I got their things mixed up. Anyway, yeah, where is Jeremy? I wish he was here too. Maybe he should watch Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, if you watch the other seasons, you piece of shit, you can join us. So fuck off.
It only costs $10 a month. I don't know what you're complaining about.
Also, I'll give you my login.
Oh, don't do that. That's not legal.
Is it not legal?
No.
With family?
You shouldn't be sharing login. Well, with family, you might be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's your brother. All right. So anyway, like I said, next week, catch us Casual Notion. So as always, I've been Paul.
I'm Jason still.
He's still Jason. And
see you guys later.
We'll see you next week.
I love you.
At Casual Notion. Don't forget.
Like and subscribe, you fucks.
Like and subscribe. Comment, what did you think about the episode? What did you think about Spock apparently being dyslexic? And what do you think about him going to Talos 4? That's the one that I'm really interested in. All right. So we'll see you next week.
There's a Talos in Star Wars. It's where Cartho Nassi's from. They blow it the fuck up. Not up. Like you just scour this.
You're mixing canon. I don't appreciate it. All right.
They shouldn't name it that. Anywho.
Star Trek did it first.
They did do it first. All right. See you guys.
See you guys. Bye.